Okay.
Hey man, can I ask you a huge favor?
Yeah, sure.
Be careful when you cross that street.
I understand how to cross the street. I don't need any directives on how to cross the street.
And who am I speaking with?
I didn't give it.
No, at least get a first aid?
No, absolutely not. So you don't have any weapons in the vehicle or any drugs that...
No.
You mind if I search it? Long Branch Park. No question about it. Back on the scene. Looks like somebody getting towed right across the street at Long Branch Park. I don't know if it was a traffic stop or what, but I'm coming in on the ass end of it. So looks like they already got the tolls here. Like somebody might have either a crash or somebody abandoned their vehicle. So we're gonna see what's going on. Yeah, it looked like the front end kind of damaged, so I don't know if it was an abandoned vehicle. But you got 121 towing on the scene, getting ready to place the vehicle on the flatbed. And then we got one cop car here. It's like we got Killeen PD.
Hey, what's going on, bud?
How you doing?
Yeah, what are you up to?
Nothing. We got what we got going on here?
Do what?
What we got going on here?
We had a crash.
Oh, it was a vehicle accident?
Yeah.
Was it another car involved?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So y'all just doing the cleanup?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You mind if I get your name and badge number?
It's Officer Trussell, badge number 82.
Officer Trussell. Okay. How long you been on the beat?
19 years.
Woo! Okay.
Hey man, can I ask you a huge favor?
Yeah, sure.
Be careful when you cross that street.
Yeah, I was crazy. I understand how to cross the street. I don't need any directives on how to cross the street. I'm pretty old enough. I've been living this long, so.
I actually won't be careful because I took a fatality up here about 6 months ago. A lady crossed the street right there and got killed.
Yeah, I understand that. But yeah.
And the way these cars are driving, man.
Yeah, I know. I walk through these streets all day and night, so I'm pretty careful with crossing the street. Did it look like I wasn't careful when I crossed it, or?
It's just dark right here, so it's hard to see you.
Okay, yeah. Usually I got a flashlight. Usually I would use it, but I kind of got distracted by all these flashing lights. So I figured if they see the flashing lights, if I see the flashing lights and they obviously see it, so they should have a little more caution when approaching all the flashing lights, You would
hope that they do.
Yeah, I would hope. But have you what's going on with these warnings? Why do people have to sign warnings?
What do you mean?
Cause I recently got pulled over, and they gave me a warning, but they made me sign it. It's like a paper warning. Why do they have to give a paper warning versus a verbal warning?
So you mind if I step out and talk to you?
Absolutely.
And who am I speaking with?
I didn't give it. I didn't get my name.
No, at least get a first name?
No, absolutely not.
Oh yeah, you asked who I was, and I told you who I was.
Right,
you
but
do it to say, hey, I'm Bill.
Well, you could call me Good Citizen.
Good Citizen? All right, man, fair enough, cool. So, reason why you signed a warning is, one, it shows you acknowledge that you received it. Okay? Are you familiar with the Sandra Bland Act?
I know Sandra Bland is not about an act that was
okay, so under the Sandra Bland Act, every time we make a stop, it's got to be documented.
Sure, okay.
So
okay.
we can no longer give verbal warnings. Everything has to be written.
Okay, what about the Sandra Bland situation that created the act?
I had to go back and research a little bit of it, and I don't know why it particularly pertains to it, because I don't know I had to get familiar with it again. What was the stop? I know the stop.
Okay.
The context of the stop was a good question, and the stop was in question. But basically, they want everything documented. Like, okay, I stopped, good citizen on this day.
Yeah.
He did this. I gave him a warning. And that way, it's on video.
Just for documentation purposes.
Yes.
But it's
that way, if you come back and say, "Hey, I got stopped by Officer Trussell," and they can't find my video.
Right. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, just for documentation, because like you said, somebody can get pulled over and then get beat up or do whatever, something happened to them, and then there's no record of the stop, other than what the cops maybe have a vehicle. That's understandable. But the reason I ask is because from what I understand is that a warning cannot be like contested. Is that true?
Well, the only thing the warning is just that, hey, we saw you do this violation. You're not getting a ticket. We're just verbally warning you.
Yeah, but it's not verbal. It's on paper, though.
Written, because we can no longer give you verbal warnings because it has to be documented.
And that warning stays on your record, like forever, from what I understand. From what I understand, it stays on your record, and you can't contest it. You may be I don't know if you can expunge it, but I know you definitely can't like contest it. So it stays on your record. So the next time you get pulled over, then you get a ticket and you try to fight the ticket, and the judge will be like, "Well, we gave you a warning for this such and such and such. No. We more than likely not going to throw it out."
No, it has nothing. It doesn't go against you points, anything like that. It's just
if you have a commercial license, it will. It can affect your I think it's CC something, some type of issue with commercial. Not really. It doesn't really affect your points on a personal license, like a class. What is it?
Commercial driver's license under a little different standards.
So that warning can have adverse effects on you.
You as an average citizen that are normal driving, and you make a mistake, we gave you a warning, we'll cut you a break, whatever, however you want to look at it.
Right.
It doesn't affect your life whatsoever.
Right, I understand.
Okay. And it's even benefited you for some cases, like say down the road you get pulled over again, right? And you're like, "Hey, I just got pulled over by Officer Trussell. Here's my paperwork." "Oh, okay, right. Sorry, man. Have a nice night."
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So it's like your taillight was out.
Yeah.
Hey, Officer Trussell just stopped me back there, and then you got that paperwork. So, okay.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I do have another question. Have you ever lied in the course of your duties?
Have I ever lied in the course of my duties?
Yes.
No.
You never lied in the course of your duties?
No.
Have you ever lied in your personal life?
Have I ever lied? That's kind of an open-ended question, man. I mean, everybody's lied at some point.
Right, and so it would make sense that you would lie in the course of your duties because the Supreme Court has already ruled that cops are able to lie in the course of their duties. Did you know that? Mm-hmm. So it makes sense that you would probably 9 times out of 10 would lie in the course of your duties. So there's nothing wrong with it. If you have or you haven't, it's fine. But
I've got nothing.
I just want to know how transparent our Killeen Police Department is when it comes to things like that.
Right. I've got nothing to hide from it. When I'm talking to you, I'm talking to you for whatever the situation is.
Okay.
And I'm giving you the truth that I know how the law is written.
Okay.
And what you can and can't do.
Okay, I understand.
I've done this job long enough. There's no reason to lie about it.
Right. I mean, it's a lot of reasons to lie about it because you can lose your qualified immunity if you make certain statements towards a situation that can compromise your job. You know what I'm saying? So it would make sense for you to lie in the course of your duties, and it makes more sense why the Supreme Court ruled that you can lie. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of reasons that you would lie in the course of your duties. So. But another question I had was, when you collect evidence on a situation, do you drop that evidence at the end of your shift, or do you drop it right after the situation?
It depends on the case. It depends on what's going on.
Okay.
If we're super busy, then sometimes I have to hold it for a little while before I can actually get it to turn it in.
Okay.
But like say this was a murder scene. All that evidence is going in
like right away. Okay.
Have
you ever discarded any evidence?
No.
Like say you picked up somebody for a 3.5 of weed. You know what I'm saying? and you just gave them a warning for it, and would you drop that evidence as well, or what would you do with that 3.5?
What would I do with the evidence? If it's evidence, it's going into.
But it's there. You gave them a warning for it. You didn't really like take them in for it, or whatever. It was just something menial. What would you do with that evidence?
I would still turn it in.
So you would just turn it in you would still write it up as, how would that get written up?
Could be found property, or
found property.
It could be, going in for further investigation.
Okay.
So
you never discarded any that type of stuff that would never get discarded?
That's gonna come back and bite me in the ass.
Okay. Have you ever kept any evidence, like any drugs or any weapons that you find on a situation inside your vehicle?
No, I value my job. I value my family.
So you don't have any weapons in the vehicle, or any drugs any weapons that's not assigned to you in the vehicle, or any drugs that haven't been dropped in your vehicle?
Nope.
You mind if I search it?
You're not going in my car.
I mean, but I'm the public, right?
Okay, but you're not going in my
You're
car.
a public official. Why? But you say you have nothing to hide. You never lied on the job.
You won't even give me your name, and then you want to go search my car.
Right, but I'm not obligated to give you my name.
I'm not obligated to let you search my car.
I mean, but you say you never lied and you want to be transparent.
I've got nothing in here to hide, but you're not.
So you don't have nothing to hide. So what would be the reason why you wouldn't let me search your
What do you have to hide by not giving me your name?
Because I have a Fourth Amendment right to refuse that. You know what I'm saying?
But it's not a legal search and seizure right now.
I understand that, but
you're the one that came
I don't
up
have to be illegally searched and seized in order to invoke my rights.
You're the one that came up to talk to me.
All right, you're absolutely right about that, because
and the courtesy was, you said, "Hey, what can I get your name?" I said, "My name's Officer Trussell, badge number 82."
Absolutely.
And when I asked you, you're like, "I don't have to give you nothing."
Right, but the difference is,
see how that comes off.
How does it comes off?
It comes off very rude.
It comes off
I'm trying to have a good conversation with you.
I understand that.
I don't have to sit here and talk to you at all.
You don't. But as a public official,
I'm trying to have a good conversation.
It would be the more professional thing to do, right?
But I don't even know who I'm talking to.
Right, but I don't have to be illegally searched, or I can invoke my rights. It don't have to be rude to invoke my rights.
So
if you understand what I'm saying.
Fifth Amendment.
I'm invoking my Fourth Amendment to illegal searches and seizures. My identification is my property.
Nobody is seizing you any bit.
Right, but that's my identity. I don't have to give that information up if I don't.
Your first name has nothing to do with me seizing you. All I ask is a first name.
Right, but
that's a professional courtesy. At least I know who I'm talking to.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I go by. You can call me good citizen. I think that should be sufficient enough for a conversation, right?
Some cases, but it's like you're trying to get a little more personal. It's like the first name or even a last name would be nice. Like,
right, but the difference is you work for the public, and I'm a private citizen, so I'm not obligated to give you my information. But on the other hand, you as a public official, you're obligated to provide to identify yourself when requested by the public.
Right.
So,
but don't you see how that's a two-sided street?
What do you mean by that?
Asking for a conversation,
mm-hmm.
okay, and wanting to be professional.
Mm-hmm.
When you guys, my name's just good citizen.
Right. I'm not obligated to be professional. I can be rude. I can sit here and berate you.
Lie to me and tell me some crazy off-the-wall name than just good citizen.
No, but then that would be a crime. If you asked me to identify myself and I told you my name was Joe Smo and that's not my name, that's a crime.
No, it's not.
It's a crime, sir.
You're not detained.
It don't matter. I don't have to be detained in order to that would be a reason for you to detain me. If you ask me for my information,
I have no probable cause to stop you. I have no reason suspicion to stop you.
That's true. But
whether ask you is just what's your name.
Right, whether I'm being detained or not. If you were to ask me my name and I gave you a false name, that is a crime.
No, it's not.
It's a crime, sir. You might want to look that up.
You can look it up. I taught at our academy for 13 years.
Okay, that makes sense. So
it's not a crime. The only time it's a crime is when I ask when you're legally detained.
Okay. Okay, you're probably right about that. I'll look it up.
When you're legally detained, you don't have to give me any information. Okay.
Okay.
But if you give me a name, it has to be your correct name.
That's after the detention.
That's if you're detained. You're
so
not even detained.
Just a consensual conversation. If I gave you a false name, it's not a crime.
No.
Okay, I'll research it further. But from my understanding, regardless if it's a detainment or not, you don't have to. Are you familiar with the First Amendment? What is the First Amendment?
What are we going at here?
We just having a conversation.
I know. We're really busy right now, so I'm like trying to figure out where we're going with this.
Well, if you busy, you can break contact at any moment.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and go because we got calls backed up.
Okay. I mean, don't.
But I appreciate you stopping to talk with me.
Yeah, definitely with good conversation. Okay. I appreciate it. Well, I won't shake hands because no, none of that. It'll be a handshake today, and then it'll be handcuffs tomorrow.
I ain't got no reason to handcuff you.
No, I mean, I understand, but I really appreciate your professionalism. I definitely appreciate you upholding your oath to the Constitution and respecting my rights and being able to get out your vehicle and have a decent conversation with me, even though I may have come off rude to your understanding and I'm invoking my rights. And I didn't give you my name, and you still remain professional. And that's the only thing that we as the public can ask for. So I won't shake your hand, but I respect you. No, I don't do any of that. But I definitely respect you, and it's just my history with things, and I just don't feel comfortable doing that. And like I said, it'll be a handshake or a fist bump today, and then tomorrow it'll be handcuffs.
No reason to handcuff you.
You know what I'm saying? Now, yeah, I know you don't have a reason now, but who knows what the future holds. So, but I definitely.
If you think that way, okay, why would you even begin to think that way? That in the future, I'm gonna go find you and put handcuffs on.
What? No, that's not what I said. See, now you're twisting my words.
No, I just asked because you said fist bump today means handcuffs tomorrow.
Yeah, but not necessarily you specifically. I'm not saying that you're gonna be putting me in handcuffs, but just in general, it'll be a handshake with a police officer today, and then tomorrow it'll be handcuffs. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, you see something suspicious?
I see what the guy's coming out of that door.
Oh yeah, I see people coming out that door all the time. I think that they have a business. I see them coming out all the time, but they kind of work like odd hours. But in a situation like that, what would you do?
Well, normally I work downtown, so I'm not familiar with who's coming and going at a lot of these businesses.
Okay.
But I may start to go up and talk to them, like, hey, what's going on?
Okay. Would you try to get their identification?
Yeah, I want to find out who I'm talking to.
Why?
Why? Because one, I got to find out if they are who they say they are. Okay.
But why would they need
Are they authorized to be there?
Right, but why would they need to give you that information to prove whether the only reason you're making contact is to find out if they're committing any crimes, right?
So if that business has a security system or anything, it's got a key holder attached to it. So that information is at our department. So if I say good citizen, hey, he's a good citizen, the key holder, and says, yeah, it comes back and he's a key holder of this business, then I can say, okay, you belong here.
Right.
Or if you're not that key holder and I make contact with whoever's the owner of that business,
right, but
what
what
I can say is, hey, sir, this is Officer Trussell. I've got Mr. Good Citizen out here. Does he belong here?
Right. What does their identification have to do with any of that?
So I know who they are.
Yeah, but you knowing who they are.
Man, be smart.
Yeah, but you knowing who they are would not tell you whether they have committed a crime or not. Only thing in this situation, only thing you're supposed to do is observe, and if you see anything suspicious, like, okay, you can go. You well within your right to go ask him, what are you doing? There's nothing unlawful about that. You can go ask them, but you asking them for their identification.
Well, at that point, they're detained, reasonable suspicion.
No, officer. How long? You said 19 years, right?
Research it. Get back with me.
Okay, let me ask you this. Yeah. Do you know what reasonable articulable suspicion is?
Yeah.
So you can't just say you're suspicious, let me get your ID. You don't have a reason. That's not reasonable articulable suspicion.
Look at that. Tell me what you see.
All right, I see a guy, the dark business.
Okay.
It's a guy sitting in the corner.
Coming out and then go back in.
Right.
It doesn't look suspicious to you?
No, it doesn't look suspicious to me. I mean, you're right. Okay, windows blacked out. Okay. Yes, it could be considered suspicion, but let me ask you this.
I'm gonna go find out what's going on.
So
I want to make sure that they're within the law.
Right.
If they're illegal, guess what? I'm out of there.
But suspicion in itself, you cannot detain somebody with strictly suspicion. That's what I'm trying to make you understand.
Better go research.
So yeah, you.
I gotta roll.
All right, it was good talking with you.
Peace out, brother.
It was good talking with you, Officer Trussell. Hopefully I'll see you again. We can continue the conversation. See these boys don't know what they talking about, because he just explained that you can detain somebody on suspicion alone. That's not true. You cannot just detain somebody for being suspicious. You have to have RAS, either probable cause, which is, you know, you have facts that says that they committed a crime or they about to commit a crime, or reasonable articulable suspicion, means that any reasonable person can ascertain that they more likely in the process or have committed a crime. So that means you have to have a fact. You have to have a fact of a crime that says you can detain them. Minus any type of facts of a crime, you cannot detain nobody. You can't say, oh, you're suspicious, give me your ID. No, you can't do that. You have to have a fact of a crime to detain somebody. And that's the reason why I'm out here, because these cops, they don't understand that. They don't understand nothing, that half the stuff that goes on with their job. You sitting around, he was getting ready to come over here and question this young man for being suspicious, but you have no authority to you can go question, but you can't detain nobody and try to search and try to obtain their identification just for being suspicious. That's a crime. You can't do that. You have to have a crime in order to obtain anybody's information or to detain them. You can't just say, you're suspicious, I'm gonna detain you till I find out whether or not you committed a crime. That's illegal. And so this is no question about it. And I don't know if you heard the conversation over there, sir, but they was getting ready to come over here and get at you, bro. I'm sorry, I can barely see you. I don't know if you want to talk or not, but they was getting ready to come over here and question you about being in front of your business. So I had to bring the reality into it. Like, look, so okay, I had to ask them, like, what would you do in this situation? I didn't mean to call you sir. I couldn't barely see you and you had the hat on, but they was getting ready to come over here and question you while you over here. She was like, you see, it's a dark business. There's no name on the business. And because he looked over there, I'm like, what are you looking at? So I look and I saw you, and then I'm like, you know, what you doing? And so I said, so what would you do in that situation? He said he would come over here and ask you questions and try to get your identification. I'm like, sir, you can't do that. Yes, you can go over there and question them and try to figure out whether or not they're committing a crime, but you cannot detain somebody. You can't say you're not free to go just for you sitting here being suspicious, quote unquote suspicious. And so, but I told him, like, I see people coming in and out this place, at odd hours all the time. I don't know what y'all doing, but I know ain't nothing illegal going on. So I had to kind of calm them down.
This is our church.
Huh? Oh, it's a church?
It's our church, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's not the church.
Okay, I didn't.
Stay here. This is the church over there, and this whole building is ours.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's important now that you know what was in play, that if any cop or any official come up to you trying to get your identification or try to find out or try to stop you from moving, if they tell you, you have to ask them, am I being detained? If the answer is yes, the next question should be, for what crime? Because they cannot detain you unless they suspect you of a crime. They can't say, oh, you suspicious, let me stop you and let me identify you. No, you don't. You have a Fourth Amendment right to not give up your identification, and you have a Fifth Amendment right not to answer any of their questions. So he could have came over here and questioned you. What are you doing over here? Can I get your ID? And you could have sat right there and said absolutely nothing to him, and you would have been well within your right to do so. So it's important that you being in this business, now that he knows, understand what your rights is. And I thank you for listening to me. And maybe I'll come by and stop by. Y'all open on Sundays?
Our service started at 11:30.
Okay.
Sunday school.
11:30 Sunday school.
And then service started at 12.
Service at 12. What's the name of the church?
It's called One Way Alofa Tanoa Ministry.
Oh, okay, here we go, right here. So see, he was about to bust you up because the name not right there, but the name is right here. Okay, One Way Alofa Tanoa. Is that how you pronounce it? Alofa Tanoa. Is that like a Samoan? term? Okay. Alofa Tanoa. Hey, so y'all see what's about to happen. Go ahead, come up here. Sunday service, 12 p.m. Wednesday Bible study, and prayer meeting on at 7 to 8 p.m. on Sundays. 7 to 8 p.m. on Sundays prayer meeting. Phone number is 254-228-8704. We at 3504. Is this Rancier, right? 3504 Rancier. So y'all come up there and show them some love, and making sure everybody know their rights. This is Noquestionabaudit, and we out.